Hello, Old School Gamer 1971 here, greetings one and all, especially to you, Millie and Lloyd, and Rich. Today, my third hour thoughts is on Kingdom Hearts, the story so far. Been playing this game for around 3 hours, and this is what I think. Kingdom Hearts, the story so far. It's a game by Square Enix. It's an action RPG that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019. So what you're seeing on screen right now is part of a compilation. Surprised this compilation was not out before Christmas, but it's basically both the 1.5 and 2.5 collection, as well as the 2.8 collection. As per usual, I'll only be reviewing the first game of the collection. Because this is the earliest game, it normally is the lowest quality. So without further ado, Kingdom Hearts is one of the best mishmashes ever. Disney characters and Square Enix characters. This is the original game and its sequel, and Whistles and Bells as well. It's the fact that it uses characters that are both beloved by young and old, Mickey and Donald to Tidus and Sephiroth. So yes, no and yes, it is a sequel. Yes, the characters are Disney and Square, not directly with the first game, Final Fantasy, and yes, the sequels are on this collection. The developer Square have been around since 1986. They released their first Final Fantasy in 1987, previously releasing several other titles for PC, MSX and Nintendo Entertainment System. Over the years they've made some classics, and the games that they have published, I will always check out what they have to offer. Sora lives on an island, part of the Destiny Islands, with his friends Riku and Kairi. At 14 years old, he bores of the picturesque lands and wants adventure in lands anew. One night, a storm destroys the island. Not just that, shadows appear from the ground. He loses his friends and ends up in a land anew. Traverse Town, basically Final Fantasy land, where he is told he is the chosen one. Now this is only one of the stories told on this compilation, too many spoilers to bring up the other games or stories, but the quality is consistent throughout, and is nigh on perfect for younger players and older players alike. So is it Kingdom Hearts, a beloved world for us to explore, or is it Kingdom Hearts, a cash-in for Square and Disney? Cha-ching! So let's talk about that intro. If I was being lazy, I would say Square Enix intro, enough said. Oh, you want more? Okay. Sora is having strange and dark thoughts. Sora appears to be floating in his dream vision. He then snaps out of it. He is on a beach with his friends. They are by the water's edge. Sora and Riku. The water starts to recede. This can't be good. A tidal wave towers above Riku's head. Riku offers Sora his hand as the wave crashes overhead, sweeping Sora away. Underwater, Sora reaches for Riku one last time, and he is swept away to another beach, where a woman greets him warmly. Sora looks at something falling from the sky and into the water, glowing lights. Realising it was himself, he suddenly finds himself inside that body and sinks to the depths of the ocean. There is a stained glass floor beneath his feet with snow white with the poisoned apple upon it. The water recedes and doves fly around Sora. We get a little button training and a little combat explanation, and then the game starts. This was one of the many epic Square Enix intros from that era. Whilst not the most realistic looking graphics, this is one amazing looking game. The graphics are very easy on the eye, like an animated movie. The improvements are evident everywhere. The artists have done an exceptional job to bring the characters to life in this game. Back when the original released and now, it looks outstanding. I'm so glad they released this at an absolute bargain price of $29.99, which became a lot better when the price dropped to $25.99. Seeing both Final Fantasy characters from my PlayStation 1 days and Disney from my childhood, the worlds look cartoony and really colourful. They have done wonders with the redesign, but still hold the authentic feel of the source material. It is good to see that they have cured some of the PlayStation 2 problems due to hardware restrictions, and yet at the same time its overall feeling stays the same. Sometimes remasters almost feel mechanical. This one has the same feeling it did as it did when I played it the first time on the PlayStation 2. The animation has been improved greatly. The frame rate improves the gameplay as well as the aesthetics.
Cricket's the name. Jiminy Cricket at your service.
We hope for your safe return. Please, help the king.
You're coming too!
Whoa!
The sound is outstanding. Square Enix's games have always had good sound coupled with outstanding music. Some of Square's best music has spent years in my head. Its sound effects also really work in this game. Normally, Square's music sounds epic and the sound effects sound real as a fantasy world can sound. Here, it sounds cartoony and music just bounces along. One slight drawback is the whole game isn't completely voiced over, so quite a bit of reading here, especially to get the whole story. However, for the younger players, they can still play it as objectives are highlighted really well. Now on the original, it was down to those darn restrictions. Again, this was also while the areas were quite small too. Now my first thoughts was, why didn't they fix this? But then I realised that it was left this way as it adds to the game's overall charm and ultimately the game's atmosphere.
Give me a break, Kyrie.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't... Ow!
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre.
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kyrie.
It should not be forgotten that this was Square's first attempt at an action RPG. They did such a damn good job with this game. The controls are simple and responsive, easy to pick up for the younger players. Movement is now fluid and responsive. Best of all, it's fun as hell to play. The combat is pretty easy and not too unforgiving, like anyone was expecting it to be. But was just saying for the sake of the review. I always felt the weapons were fantastically designed. Again, this really fits in with the whole mood of the game. I have never understood why so few entries into this franchise, considering there is nothing even close to this game out there. The platforming again is so much fun. It's not overcomplicated, nor is it instant death all the time. Instead, it's a well thought out game that is an absolute pleasure to play. Some of this game takes me back to my childhood with only 3 TV channels. There was never much children's TV on at the time. Maybe a couple of hours a night, 3 hours on a Saturday morning, maybe an hour on Sunday. And part takes me back to the Final Fantasies of old for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 and NES. It has a feel good vibe to the game. The music helps with this a lot. It also has great atmosphere in the Disney worlds. The music changes between worlds. Now this might sound obvious, but they do such a good job that it definitely deserves a mention. The story is simple, but the thought of the adventure, going out into the great wide open with your friends, it's part of your childhood. To me, this has the atmosphere down, as I just want to play more. I just want to see what cutscene or what world comes next. Who am I gonna see next? Now yes, I could just have looked it up, but where would the fun have been in that? Yes, it's pretty much a mute and defunct point really. I own these games on PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 and now PlayStation 4. But I get them because of gameplay, story, in fact all the things I have ever enjoyed about Square Enix's games. The fact that you get so much for your money in this collection. These are the best versions of the game. This game is one of the reasons that I have loved this generation. Playing this game proved that sometimes we need a remake. This has made me want Kingdom Hearts 3 all the more. Should have released this before Christmas, would have sold so many more copies. The characters are a little cheesy in places, but likeable cheese. I now hope that maybe one more Kingdom Hearts game at least, with Marvel and Star Wars worlds involved. Now I know they said that neither commodity will ever be in a Kingdom Hearts game ever, except that is what they would say if they wanted it to be a surprise for next gen surprise. So Kingdom Hearts is a beloved world for us to explore. So thank you Square Enix. So that about wraps it up. Hope you all have a good day. If this has been helpful in any way, please like, comment, share and subscribe, as it makes an old man very happy. I post new videos every week. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.